before this, I was actually selling cars for Chevy, for Chevy, for two different Chevy dealerships, one up in Cleveland and one down here in Charlotte. When I first moved down here, I just needed something that I knew I could get back into right away, and something I was familiar with. So set up some interviews for when I moved down here to work at some dealerships, and yeah, so selling cars for about a year and a couple months. So
That's awesome, man. So you were a car salesman before this. So you definitely
oh yeah,
had a little bit of sales experience, some direct sales. Obviously it's a different kind of sales than this is. Because kind of people kind of more come to you, unlimited amount of
right.
prospects because we make our own leads. Now, why did you second question, why did you come here in the first place, Jim? Why did you choose Family Heritage?
Yeah, so when I was working at the car dealership, part of the interview process that they didn't tell me was that you got to earn your off day. And for them, like, one, not to tell me that, like, to be upfront with me about that, because I would have never gone to a job where I had to like earn my off day where I'm already working 65 plus hours a week. So that first of all didn't sit well with me. And then I started scrolling through Indeed, and I came across your guys' ad that's in there, and I didn't really know too much about what it was going to be, but from the description, it sounded like it'd be something I could do because it was sales. So then I went ahead and filled out the form and got a call from you, and the the rest is history, as they say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, so you're obviously looking for a sales career. Not everybody was looking for sales, but you definitely were, and we just found you. So you've been here for about 4 months now, Jim. So you've had a pretty good start. You've written 4 Eagles in your first 4 months and protected lots of families. What would you say is, one or two things that's helped you have a good start so far? Like what are some things that that you're just doing well that's helped you have a great start to your career?
Yeah, well, I think being tall kind of helps because right away people kind of think that you're like the corporate office. But besides that, no, it's really just being able to direct people and herd them where you want to go and sit down and where you want to go and or take 5 minutes and take some of their time and speak with them about what we have, and just being very confident in what you're saying, just acting like you're supposed to be there. Um, the biggest thing I always tell myself before I walk into a business is, hey, the worst thing they're going to tell you is no, and I can take a lot of no's. So, yeah, definitely being confident and definitely being able to be okay with the rejection. Even if you give a couple rebuttals, it's not always going to work. But yeah, just being really keen on those two things.
I love it. Just you are very confident. And when you walk in, you have that feeling like what you're showing them is the most important thing that they're going to see that day. That you are the best 5, 10, or 15 minutes of interaction that they're going to have that day. And you definitely have that mindset when you walk in that you're supposed to be there. So that is very important because it's not about the words you say, it's about the way you say the words. And you definitely have that intention whenever you go in. So I know you're just kind of getting your wheels started here, but where do you see yourself and where are you headed in this career? And what are just like some?
You there, Kyle?
Yes. Could you hear the question, or do you want me to repeat the question?
Yeah, if you could repeat it, that'd be great. You kind of cut out there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, sorry about that. So I just wanted you to talk about what are some of your goals here, short and long-term goals. Like where do you kind of see your career and where do you want to see your career ahead here at Family Heritage?
Yeah, I mean, definitely moving my way up the career track, and um, being with recruiting being a huge thing that we do in training people and getting them up to standard is a huge way to kind of shortcut that career track. So definitely moving up the ranks, and hopefully one day, 5, 6, 7 years from now, seeing myself as an agency owner and having a big team like yourself, and being able to just all the dreams and wishes and things you've ever wanted come true, in addition to being able to help a lot of other people to be in a spot where I was in before to be in a spot where I'm at now.
Love it. That's awesome. Yep. I bet a lot of people on the call definitely had the same goals as well. That is great, Jim. So let me ask you this. So you just had two personal people that you found the clients. I hired them for your agency. Yvonne, who'll be going to sales school in about a week and a half, and Adam Tuttle right here in Charlotte. How did you find your two newest recruits, Yvonne and Adam?
Yeah, so with excuse me, with Adam, I was actually getting Lindsay's car washed. I think she was at work, and I was getting it washed for her. And I was just talking with Adam at Auto Bell, and he was saying how him and his brother have been trying to start this business. It's pretty much like an alcohol ice cream, pretty much ice cream that's got booze in it in a sense. So you can never go wrong with those two things. And so he was saying just how they've had some struggles with funding and trying to lock down a place and stuff like that. And just from talking to him, I could just tell that he had a lot of goals and drives and ambitions. For being such a young age to kind of want to start your own business like that, to me is very impressive. Because I know I believe he's 20, 22, 23, and I know that was not even on my radar at that age. So for him to be that kind of savvy and wanting to do something like that, I knew that he would be a good fit for what we do here at Global Life. So just kind of talking to him, saying, hey, this may be a good fit for you. It may not, even though I figured it'd be a good fit. But we are hiring and we're growing at a rapid pace. And so I got time down with him, sent him all the information, and then went from there. But with Yvonne, it was a little bit of a different story because I had known Yvonne for a long time, and we had worked together. We had always stayed in contact, even when we weren't working together. When I moved on to another job and she stayed at her current job, we still always had conversation, got lunch, stuff like that. So I knew Yvonne's work ethic and Yvonne's drive in life. So when we were actually in Dallas, I had posted something on my story, and she had swiped up on it, and she was like, "Are you on another vacation?" And we kind of laughed a little bit, and I told her about what we were doing there in Dallas, and she said how awesome it was, and I was asking her, hey, how's your business going? Like, how's the personal training life working for you? And she said, it's going. She said, it's not where I want it. So, and knowing Yvonne and how hard of a worker she is, I said, hey, this may be a good fit for you. It may not, but at least give the video a watch. See if you think it's something you can do, and then we'll talk after that. So that's how those two recruits came about.
Wow, that's awesome. So taking notes here. Take your girlfriend's car out for a wash, Auto Bell, be a good boyfriend, and that's how you'll find a direct recruit like what Jimmy did. That's part one. So just being a great boyfriend helps you kill two birds with one stone, right? Brownie points and find a recruit at the same time. That's awesome. And then you found Yvonne just through social media. That is huge shit because people love seeing like some of the sexy parts about our career. Is not the day-to-day stuff. It's what we get to do by working hard every single day. Guys, you can have the freedom and flexibility when you get really good at this career. You can have the freedom and flexibility to go on trips a year if you just win the trips. And that's not including the extra trips that you can go on. Like whenever Jim took Lindsay out, they went for a whole week and they just toured all over out west, which was a beautiful trip. I was definitely jealous whenever you're on that trip. You guys, like, people love seeing that. Like, they love seeing, who would not be interested in, you're staying right beside the Dallas Cowboys stadium and the Texas, like the two biggest stadiums for football and baseball. You're the nicest hotel. It's sandwiched in between. People are, dude, where are you at right now? Like, that is like, it looks like a spaceship that you're in right now. So And it's pretty amazing, and people are attracted to that kind of stuff. And we have that, we work for a huge company. So, and just asking those questions. Now, how did you, so you kind of answered this a little bit, but you actually set up the career spotlight for them. And Jim, you sent me other recruits, and these are, some of your first recruits that have watched the spotlight, that have filled out the questionnaire. Can you just kind of help people? How did you set up the career spotlight so they would do that and fill out the questionnaire? How did you kind of set that up for the prospect?
Yeah, definitely. So definitely just starting it off by saying, hey, this may be a good fit for you. It may not. Either way, I want you to watch it and find out for yourself. And then definitely getting a time down for them to watch it, like confirming with the time, making sure that time works well for them, because the first couple of people, like, it's not that I wasn't doing because I didn't care. I would just kind of forget about having a time, and I would just kind of send them the video, and then they would never watch it. So, but as soon as you start putting a time on things and you start you kind of hold them accountable in a sense, you will get more people to watch the video, and you will get more people to fill out the questionnaire, and you will get more people to, get that second follow-up interview if it's a right fit for them. So definitely saying, hey, what time do you have? About 45 minutes. And they'll go ahead and tell you, whether it is, in the evening or afternoon or in the morning. And then if they say the morning, you're like, okay, well, what time do you get up? You get up at 8. All right, well, how does, if you got 45 minutes at, 8:15 after you wake up, does that work for you? They say, yeah. They say, all right, so I'm going to send this video for you to watch tomorrow at 8:15 in the morning. And after there's going to be a questionnaire. It'll take you about 10 minutes. And then from there, let me know when you have finished watching the video. That way I can look for your questionnaire and pull it and send it on to my boss.
That's awesome. I love it, man. That's really simple what you talked on. And I think everybody who's listening can definitely replicate everything you just said. When you were first doing it, you were just sending out a link to somebody, and now you just got them to commit to a certain time, and which is the reason why making it sound as if it's like an actual interview with the person, like, hey, this is the time that your first interview is. People will definitely take ownership and fill it out and make sure that they're attending the webinar at the exact time that you're supposed to. So thank you for that. So last question for you, Jim, is just whenever somebody is in the hiring process that you field recruited, how much do you communicate with them, while they're in the hiring process and even after they're hired? What does your communication look like? Are you just letting your agency owner do everything, or are you still communicating, texting them, calling them, keeping them warm in the pipeline? What does that kind of look like for you as well?
Yeah, definitely taking it out of your hands, because I know you got like 1,001 things to worry about besides that, and taking a little bit off Nicole as well. But just for me, it's all about like how would I want to be treated, and how was I treated when I was going through the whole process. And for myself, it's usually at the beginning of the week, like Monday, in the afternoon. I'll reach out to them, say, hey, how's everything going? Do you have any questions? Just trying to touch base with them, and not even just talk about what we're doing, but just kind of talk about life a little bit. How's your week going? How are things outside of this stuff like that, just to really, make sure that they know that you do care about them, because you do. So yeah, definitely once at the beginning of the week, like Monday, and then if I don't hear from them on Monday, then I'll call them on like Wednesday, and then definitely on Thursday or Friday, just reach back out with them again and just see how they're doing, if they need anything, and how far along they are in the process. So at the very minimum, twice a week. And that's just because that's how I would want to be treated, and that's how I want things to, like, the culture of my team. That's how I want it to be. Very community, family, relaxed. Like, we don't always have to talk about work type of environment.
Yep, that is huge, guys. Hopefully you guys got some really good notes from Mr. Kenosh today. Jim, you crushed it. You killed it. That was really good. And yes, your culture is going to be great here. And Yeah, we're excited, guys. So that, guys, this can be used. So like you can have your team, because I always tell people a reason why you want to start building a team today is because the teacher learns more than the student. You know, whenever you are training somebody out there in the field, it makes you better as a person. Teaching somebody on how to do the approach, how to do a buying atmosphere, it'll make your buying and force you to go back to the fundamentals and learn it from square one. And you always protect more families when you go back to the fundamentals in this business. So there's so many good things about, you know, getting more people, because more people can get protected. Obviously, it's going to help you financially by building your own team and your own agency. But it's also just makes you better as a person, and it's fun. Like it's exciting going on trips when you have a team member there with you, when you have a buddy, you know, and even whenever you're outside of work, if you want to go watch Carolina Panthers football game. Hey man, you want to go to the Panthers game this weekend? I mean, just things like that, right? Just you can do things outside of work with your team members. It's exciting. Like we go to Top Golf every single year for I think 3 years running now here in our Charlotte office, and it's awesome. You know, whenever we do that. So, guys, we're going to kind of today is we are having a good week so far. But just know that for most people, 50% of the business hasn't even been written yet. So Thursday and Fridays are always the two best selling days. You've got your momentum for the week, you put in the activities, and now it's cash out time where we just protect families. We're there for a reason. And Fridays, make sure that you work a full day on Friday because it is payday for Mrs. Jones. Those are the days that they're in a better mood. They're relaxed. The weekend is right upon them, and they just got paid. So make sure that you work early and late on a Friday because those are great days. And guys, I challenge you to talk to at least one person today that we're hiring. It can be out in the field. It could be a friend of yours, somebody you go to church with, an ex-coworker, somebody you see on social media. Like, hey man, I see that you've been doing really well with your career. You know, like, you know, do you see yourself working there forever? You know, how do you like your job so far? Guys, because if you work for corporate America, you don't get to choose on who works right beside you. You know, they pick and hire every single person for you. Here, that's not the case. You get to choose who you work with. You know, I decide who I work with. I decide how my culture is on my team, how I run my organization. Corporate doesn't do any of that, right? They don't steer Schneider Agency's culture to be a certain way. I do. And you get to do the same thing with you and your team. If you want to have a 50-person team in the next 5 years, you can do it here. If you want to have a 5-person team in 5 years, you can do that too. But it's your decision. But let's go out, find the right people. Anytime you see a sharp person, challenge yourself. Yes, it may be a little intimidating to go and approach them about a new career because they're very sharp. You think that they're dominating what they're currently doing. But I promise you, people aren't always where they want to be long term. Even though they may look like it, you may see them on social media and you may think that they love what they do, but I promise you, most of the time, they are not where they want to be for the next 20 years. Okay, so let's go step out of our comfort zone today because that's how we improve and get better is by constantly doing that. Talk about the career. Let's go get some families protected and grow our teams. And let's have a big Thursday, guys. We'll see you guys. No Zoom call tomorrow because it's Friday. But there will be a recruiting rally call at 10 a.m. So make sure that you're on the recruiting rally calls and get any people that you have in the pipeline on those calls as well. So love being in business with you guys. Let's have a great Thursday. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Jim. That was awesome, brother.